Hey, and big announcement now. We're gonna open up a new branch.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're expanding. We're expanding to Temecula, so we're gonna go across the street now.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's just like our neighborhood.
Yeah. We don't know what we're gonna do. So this office, we may or may not keep it, but then we might open up a bigger location.
That's sweet.
I really want to open up the bigger location, which will be more of a hub in French Valley.
Okay. It's like we're gonna have our clients go to that office and do signings there and stuff.
I mean, I think we've had one client show up to this office in a year.
I had a client show up to this office.
Oh, you did?
And I
I
have,
have to as well.
Yeah.
Yep, and I have another one coming next week.
Oh,
So they were
okay.
supposed to be here today, but this morning they were like, "Hey, so family came in. Can we go next Thursday?" So, yeah.
You should just love when family shows up.
It's super.
This is why lending is so fun. That's it. Like, I mean, all the other bullshit sucks, but at least the camaraderie. But we're like a unique team, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on a couple different teams since I started, so I like you guys the most.
Yeah.
No offense to the other teams, if this is actually going out
No,
there.
Hey, once we get more than like 50 viewers, like, then you're in danger.
Danger, Will Robinson.
We had a
This is the podcast
guest.
that
I
makes
had a
it.
guest on recently, and he's like, "Shout out to this person." He's like name dropping, and I was like, "They ain't gonna see this." We early on, like you can talk shit right now. Oh man,
Like
Like
10
one of
years
those-
from now, they're gonna be like, "Hey, you said this."
yeah.
That's one of those podcasts where everybody's talking shit and is blown up on YouTube and stuff. You know, the ones that the 12-year-olds are watching, like
Yeah.
my son being all retarded. Here it comes back 12 years later. Hey, remember when you said
Yep.
this thing about Homeboy's haircut and how he wasn't producing and he was missing a line and something about never coming back?
Bro, I was going off on the podcast I do on Tuesdays with the guys who are starting the crypto company.
Yeah.
I was just going off on China. And then Bro, I started talking about Mao, and I was like, "Hey, we need to stop because I'm gonna get assassinated." Like, all I need is one Chinese person to see this. I'm fucked. Like, I'm disappearing with Alibaba. Like, I'm out. Like, I don't need to be running for president, and then all of a sudden this just drops on CNN. Like,
Nuclear missile
I'm
to
done.
USA.
They're like, you thought the Cuban Missile Crisis was bad. I can't hit my tagline. Dude, okay, so why is it that in like our world in finance now, like you have some extremes, right? Like you have the old school guys that are still like, we have to wear suit and ties.
You call me old.
Huh?
Did.
You call me old.
I already said it.
Indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Bro, I already told you where you work out.
Look, look, I think it's more of a regional thing too, though. Okay, because
Oh
I
my
come out
God.
here to California, everybody's just lax as hell. Not
Yeah.
coming from California, people are suit and tie. Go to Chicago, it's 3-piece suit type of stuff. Go to
Yeah,
New
'cause it's
York,
cold.
But I think it's all just what type of image you want to throw up on yourself. Whether it's a suit, collared shirt,
I agree with that.
so that's about it, really. And me, I want to go for Peaky Blinders as soon as I get a loan in. So it's gonna be my whole wardrobe right there. Just
We're working on some stuff though. Like
Yeah.
if everything that we're working, all the different avenues that are now like,
Shit, if one of them comes through.
I think all of them have like pretty immense potential. I was working with the guy who runs AP Connect today, finally like getting lending trees set up so that we can start dropping lending trees and then really embark on that strategy. So once we have those leads dropping in, our biggest problem, like we have an amazing back end system. But what we ran into issues now is we need the top of the funnel filled up, right? We need leads coming in. And so we need to be able to find a way to bring in 300, 400, 500 leads. And really now that's more of my job, is to try to get the leads and find where the leads are going to come from so that you guys can work them, right? Because if I can fill up your day with new inbound traffic, now you're able to then leverage those opportunities to go get more business, right? That's very easy to do. Because like right now you're calling realtors and you're trying to get business from them, but you have nothing to offer them. I was talking to this guy from Granada Hills. I did a deal for him, and I go, hey man, like, just out of curiosity, how many lenders call you per day? He goes, dude, it's like 2 to 3 lenders and emails and like text messages. He goes, you guys are just all out hunting right now. Mm-hmm. All the lenders are out trying to survive. But where the power comes in is in like, there's like the individual guys, right? Like, okay, so you're not going to go drop 10 grand a month right now on leads. No. Neither are you, and neither are you. Like, that's just not going to happen. And so most of our competition are individuals. Where like realtors figured it out, and like the guys who are successful in real estate, like Andrew Warburton, Blake Corey, Dennis Ryder was on his way. A lot of these big guys, who go through the Tom Ferry schools, who go through all these coaching platforms, they figure out, okay, it's all about lead gen. And so how do we lead gen? Well, it used to be door knocking. It used to be calling on your sphere. And that's free and that's labor intensive. But now you have a digital platform, right? Why have all these companies like Loan Depot, Rocket Mortgage, to an extent UWM, all these major players, Better.com, they've all started within the last 20 years. They all exploded after '08. But why have they just completely owned and dominated the real estate space? Well, because they go after online leads. Online leads is the ultimate, like, it evens out the playing field, but it also gives you digital ubiquity. It as long as you can scale and manage the lead flow and be diligent about it, your system can grow. If you have the system set up, then it gives you an unlimited ability to scale until then it just becomes bottleneck management. Once you're in bottleneck management, that's a lot easier, right? We have a problem here, this is slowing down the system, so now we gotta release the valve, and then eventually that's all you're doing. But the biggest problem we've had is just, where do we go get the leads? So it goes back to, we gotta just buy them now, right? Anthony Robbins has a whole thing on this where if you're gonna start a business, you gotta buy your clients first. So you buy all your clients and then you use your clients, because then that's referrals, right?
Yeah, word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys are referrals, but then you use that as leverage, right? Going back to the realtors, now you're able to go to the big players, because now you don't need to go on Zillow and find the guys who have done 3 to 6 transactions a year. You can go to a team that's doing 100 transactions a year. So you go to one of their better agents, you go, I'm looking for a realtor in Menifee, right? There's a realtor in Menifee that I want to work with. Her name's Jennifer Wentz, and I used to work with her when I was in the moving company. And she if I call her, she'll probably take my call. She'll know who I am, but I've never done a lending transaction for her. But I've never given her value. And I'm not going to go ask for business because I have no value to give her right now other than, hey, I have a badass system that's comparable to the top lenders in the U.S. So you go in there, you give her a fully pre-approved client, you give her everything that she needs. Now when she goes and closes that transaction, she made 10, 12, 15 grand, right, in commission. Okay, let's say her lender is doing an ad spend of $2,500 and they're doing a $5,000 a month split on Zillow. Well, you just 6x'd him on what she made on commission. And you do that for a month, right? You do that once. And then every week, though, maybe for 4 weeks straight, you feed her because it's a funnel, right? You're filling up the top of the funnel until eventually you get the close. So now she just got her first closing with you a month and a half later. And she's got 4 to 5 pre-approved out looking with her. Mm-hmm. And now you're on month 3 of you dripping her, and she still hasn't given you a lead. But now she's got her first commission check. And now you're talking to this person every day. And now the other lender who's just buying Zillow leads, she's probably going like, man, I'm about to go close their second transaction. He hasn't given me anything. Their value has only been in, I'm paying $2,500 in your Zillow spend. So now, after 2 or 3 closings, right? Mm-hmm. Potentially, maybe it happens on the first one. Now you've added not only value in I can give you clients, but look at how I close these clients. Because when we're going to go give these clients away, these motherfuckers are going to be A+. Like, we're not going to go give them an FHA Cal Halfa deal that may or may not close, right? We're not going to put our reputation on that person. We're going to put our reputation on a person that we're going to be able to broker to Rocket because they got to send 60 FICO, or it's a VA file that we fully underwrote and we're down to 4 conditions, whatever it may be, right? Now that person is like seeing more than just, hey, the paycheck, they give me clients, they close clients, and then you get that first one and you blow it out, right? And then the second and third. And now that's where the system starts to take over because we already know how to manage a ton of leads. We already have the disciplines of staying on the phones. We already have all the back end pieces filled in. And again, then my job then just becomes like, oh shit, Manuel's now doing 4 transactions a month. Brian's doing 4, Eddie's doing 4. Okay, these guys are doing 12 transactions a month. Now the back end is inundated because now they're doing 20 transactions a month because I did 8. And
rookie numbers, you better get it out.
Yeah. And that's because I gave you guys 2 of the 4 that each one of you is closing.
Oh,
Here
we go.
No, just let's be honest, right? So then you use that, right? You're able to then use all that, and that's how you really start to scale your business. Now, we're in a very unique situation where the market went to shit. So a lot of lenders are going to start driving for Uber and delivering food. Mm-hmm. Hopefully my food. Because
that'd be a fun conversation to have. Someone pulls up at your house.
But I mean, it's gone. There's going to be, how many people hasn't Loan Depot fired? How many people? Better.com, just the CEO went on Zoom and fired 1,500 people in one shot. I mean, that company's pretty much gone. So all these, I just talked to a lender who runs a boiler room shop. So you guys know what that is? Like,
I've seen the movie.
Like,
similar to that.
Yeah. Basically a fucking call center with sales guys.
Okay.
And all he was doing was dropping 20 G's on Lending Tree. And then he had his guys just smashing the phones. Mm-hmm. 20, 30 G's, blowing it up. He just said, fuck it. I'm shutting everything down and I'm just going to work from home. So, all his lenders, all his process, everybody just lost their job in one day. And now he closed down shop, went to his house, and now he's just going to ride the wave. And talking to, like, another independent guy, this guy made 7 figures last year. That's 2 commas on his W-2, right? Like, that's some shit to say. He puts that on his Tinder tagline, bro. Can you imagine that? His name, and then it's just 2 commas on my W-2. Like, bro!
His DMs are on the up.
Assuming they're writing it down. How many zeros is that?
Can I even count that high?
I'm sliding in those.
For being
DMs.
real though, I don't think too many people are gonna get that. Nobody's gonna understand that on Tinder.
No.
They're gonna be like, "What? 2 commas on what's a W-2?"
They're hitting up their OnlyFans account manager like, hey, what's a W-2? It's like, you a contractor. You're 1099. You're a contractor. Oh my God. Bro, have you seen those 1099s?
No,
ridiculous.
not yet.
Oh my, remember that husband
ridiculous.
and wife
ridiculous.
on freaking OnlyFans that we got?
Yeah, ridiculous.
They never got into a house.
No.
Follow up.
Probably will.
Follow up.
If you won't, I will, goddamn. I'll tell you what.
So
yesterday. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I was on the internet the other day. Do you guys know who her internet name is? Amaroth. You heard of this girl? She's a really popular Twitch girl. She also has an OnlyFans account now, among a few other things. And just her OnlyFans account clears $1 million a month.
Hey,
That's
I'm gonna have to put in my 2 weeks. So. Here's the thing. I don't know what I'm gonna specialize in. Just be gardening out there on my OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
But seriously though, 1 million a month. Hot damn, I need those.
That's like on the low end. Like
Yeah,
she had
that's-
some months where clearing $4 million.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
Bro, I've never been on that site. Like, straight up. Like, it cannot be that good. Like,
No, it's a matter of her popularity. She's like one of those gamer girls who's like has a huge Twitch account. And
So
then
Oh,
she
yeah.
also
So
got into
it's transferring
OnlyFans.
the
And there's
followers.
a couple other things. There's a Fansly account and some other paid social medias.
I don't even
And
know
like I'm
what
sure
Fansly
she
is.
sells some sort of like pictures or something, but just like what she's monetized is her actual popularity.
that's insane, bro.
And here I am. Look at my 5 followers on TikTok.
Oh my
We
god.
got to 10 last weekend. It's awesome. Let's go.
That's it. That's cool. That was fun. What do you guys like? You guys are newer in the industry. Like, for each one of you guys, like, where do you see like your business going? And like from everything that you've learned over this past year, right? Like all 3 of you are grown-ups in this industry now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right? Like your training wheels are off, so like it's go time. So like, what do you plan to do to like help not only get through this place, but set yourself up so that when this marketplace turns, because it will,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you're able to explode out of the gate.
It's really stay in front of mind for everybody. And I'm not talking about like the dripped emails or anything like that, like calling them up, inviting them out for a beer or something. I've got a couple people that I got from the call nights that we were doing that play golf. And while they're not in a position to purchase right now, hey man, going out and playing golf this week, you down? Or hey man, we're going to be in town this week, why don't we meet up? Another guy, new construction, who's just down the road a bit. And there's a couple breweries that he likes to go to also. And just kind of keeping that face-to-face, staying top of mind, if you will. And really, it's just going to be word of mouth. I mean, APM grew big from word of mouth. They don't do a whole lot of advertising. I mean, we have branches that do advertising, but APM as a company doesn't do advertising. I think that's really where I'm going to be heading with it, and just trying to stay there and just be that open person. I mean, we went into the office, we were getting ready to go to lunch, and Eddie and I were just walking around meeting people, and walked into an office, and we met 2 realtors that were there. And they weren't the most open of realtors we have met in the past week, but they were more standoffish, but just being happy-go-lucky and rolling with the punches, and just always being there, even if it's just a resource for people.
They're
just
at
let them
the.
know.
Oh, you walk into one of the KW offices?
The little ones.
One of the little ones on the
Yeah.
side there, yeah.
I got a story about one of those. I'm going to tell you off camera.
I mean, it's really just keeping your disciplines, keeping in front of everyone and maintaining your personal relationships with people.
Mhm.
Business is business, but the real referrals come when personal stuff gets involved. It's more powerful to get a personal referral from someone than saying, oh, I just know this person because he's a lender, or I know this person because he's a realtor. If there's some emotional value attached to it, they're going to trust you that much more, just because people are human. And that's one thing that we should always exhibit, is that we're lenders or professionals in this industry, but we connect as humans. And I think that might be a really big way of how we can leverage our connections with people to get more business.
I saw the other day on the internet somebody talking. It was one of those motivational speakers who came from like nothing and now they're making millions, right? He said you're gonna make more friends from people you do business with than get business from your friends. So I thought that was really crazy, and it's actually kind of
Yeah, that's
seems
100% true. You start getting business from your friends when you stop being their friends.
Mhm.
It's the weirdest thing. Like when I was being in the fraternity, like dude, people I lived with didn't invite me to their wedding. Like they invited the entire house and didn't invite me.
That's
Damn.
nuts, man.
But they asked me for like loan advice, right? And like I've done 2 of their loans now. So it created that separation. Like now I'm just the loan guy that they know and trust because like they've seen, they grew up with me. But like at some point it does happen. Like as you start to climb the social class ladder, there's a great book called Class Jumping, which that author's a dumbass. Her conclusion was completely wrong because she comes from a higher class and she's writing a book on class jumping. Which
So is it a good book
So
or is it a shitty book? Like,
no, the
So-
concepts are all good. The concepts are all good. Like actually going through class jumping, I'm like, oh yeah, like you don't fit in with the people that you grew up with,
no, yeah.
and then you don't fit in with the people on top because they're like, the fuck are you, right? And so then you're kind of stuck in this
Limbo.
place where you're just like, well, I'm not good enough to hang out with you, according to you, and like you guys don't like me because I'm a sellout. So, like you're in this weird place. But going to like your friends, like you end up meeting new people, and then you really like start to meet like-minded individuals, right? That you want to hang out with, and those are the people that you end up doing business with. Because then it becomes like a reliance on each other, right? Like it's just like going to an extreme. Like in East LA, if you're in a gang, right? Like you guys are relying on each other to survive. So that's what you need to do to be able to roam the streets. You got each other's back. Well, we're in the trenches on the streets over here, but we're slanging loans or slanging real estate or life insurance, whatever it may be. But these are all our partners that, because we're friends with them, we're doing business transactions with them, we're in that battle with them, which we're battling to be able to feed our families, to be able to drive the cars, to be able to have our houses, because we're commission employees. And so we need that, right? We need each other to be able to survive. So it creates a different type of bond. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, those people become your friends, and then eventually, I mean, the only thing is in business, like, eventually those friends go away too, right? As you continue to level up.
Very few people last forever. All that emotional and bonding, and we're gonna be best friends with the people we work with, and the relationships are important. Like, the relationships are extremely important. But the thing that I think I've realized more than anything these last few months is definitely this is a numbers game, and like everything that everyone says as soon as you join the industry, like, this whole thing is going to be about discipline. It's all going to be about time management. It's all going to be about the numbers, and like, it's just a numbers game. Okay, fine. Let's actually embrace that. Let's actually have the schedule every single day. For 2 hours, we'll call on lending tree leads, and for 2 hours, I'll call on a sphere of realtors that I'm working on, and 2 hours I'll call strictly on looking for new realtors, and then 2 hours I'll call on clients that I want to be working with, and then I'll go home, because that's 8 hours. And like, just waking up with the mentality that you're going to go and do that and execute on getting your numbers every single day, as a matter of it being time management, just the discipline, and knowing that the numbers will lead to the results you're looking for. Like, that's what's actually going to produce the results that we're looking for. It's just the basics.
But like, you hit on something that, like, people don't do in our industry, and they treat it like you're talking about working in our field as a job.
Yes.
And people don't see that. So you're talking about a schedule. You're talking about you're running a warehouse line. Like, you're talking about clocking in at a certain time. You're always here with me at 8, and then you leave, like, most of the time after I do. Like, you're actually working a schedule. But like, most people in our industry, they are in this industry because they can't handle the schedule. So the people who are consistent with it, those are the people who thrive. Like, I think all 4 of us have unique set of skill sets, and we all have pretty good disciplines. Like I said, we have one missing piece, which I've been working on diligently. And as soon as we find that missing piece, we're going to break through into the next level, which is, 20-30 million a month in production. And that really gets us, more fun life for all of us. Gents, I appreciate you guys being a part of my team, having my back all the way through. You guys are fucking dope. These are my lenders: Corvorubias, Bernal, Brian Ernest. We are your lending team. Peace out, y'all.